I'm excited to be here. I haven't been to a management meeting in a while, so I'm very excited. For those of you who don't know me, again, my name is Christy, and I'm the operator of Royal Hawaiian in Alamoana. And I was asked to speak on how to direct and teach your employees. And I don't know how many of you do this at your location, but it's helped our location tremendously, and it's something that I kind of implemented that found, what we found works best for us, for our location. So I hope it works for your location, and you guys can get a lot out of it. But the importance of SOHO directing and what that really is directing is the key component to a successful location. Managers must learn how to direct their employees in order for your location to run smoothly. Operators should not be the ones to lead the sale, but instead be able to direct their managers to run a smooth and successful location. So I know there's managers here and operators. Our goal as an operator is to teach our managers how to direct, and then of course the managers teach your staff, so they can direct when you're not there either. So it's kind of like a process that we all go through. It's not like the operators are always directing. We eventually want the managers to direct, and then we eventually want the managers to teach their staff how to direct. But it's very important. We don't really take notice of having to do this when you're selling. I think we're so focused on the sales and customer that we're not really directing our staff, or we're not really taking notice of how to make it better. So it's very important. There's a missing slide. Missing slide. Okay, well I guess it's not in here, but you guys have an actual handout. It's missing a slide. But anyways, directing is defined by me as being behind the scenes. It should not be for the audience, which is your customer, to take notice or see. Operators need to direct their managers in order for their managers to direct the employees to run the show. So some of the key components on learning how to direct is you have to be able to observe your location, observe your employees, look at where your employees are standing, what are they doing during downtime, are they facing out of the kiosk or in the kiosk, and are they doing teamwork? So all of these things you have to be taking note of in order for you to change it, or else you're not going to know what to fix. Who is also helping the customer that is spending the most is very important. Observe what they are showing the customer. How long are they with each customer? Are they closing their sales? Are they selling their personality and fun? And is there urgency? So all these things that you have to look at besides just sales. That's very important for your team. So those are some components. So communication with employees is also important. Directing is based on communication with your staff. Managers must discuss with their staff what they see and what they do not see. It is to help your staff learn to do what to do in each situation and scenario. When reviewed and discussed several times, the employee will eventually take note, and it will be robotic for them to always implement. So what you want to do is basically you have to have that discussion with your staff all the time. And you may think like, oh, I already talked about this, or already said it, but trust me, they don't remember. Each situation is different. They don't think about it. So you really have to be detailed, but once they get the hang of it, you want them to be robotic, where they're not thinking about it. Just like when you teach a new staff to do their stuff, or memorize haircut. It just becomes robotic. Like you're not thinking so much on how to do a French twist or have fun. Eventually, the styling becomes robotic. Now you have to train their mind to be robotic when it comes to sales and teamwork. And that's basically what directing is, and making sure that each employee understands the situation. Training your employees to direct will help you to save your energy and create more independent and self-sufficient employees. The goal that we all strive for is to have your location run successfully without you being present. I'm sure you don't want to be there all the time, right? Your goal is to be able to have your team make the goal when your manager's off. And I'm sure the managers want to make the goal when they're off. So that is the goal for everybody. So we're going back to directing environment. Employees must, in order to direct your environment, these are the things you have to look for. So employees must face outward to the mall traffic. Employees must be spread apart all over the sides of the kiosk. Don't be a magnet and stick together on one side. Usually there's like a certain side that they like to stand all the time. So you have to make sure that they're not always like gathering there and standing there. Employees should not stand in front of the register. I notice a lot of employees like to stand by the register. Make sure the employee takes the shortcut route to approach a customer. Don't take the long route by walking the opposite direction to your customer. So my observation when I observe is I notice that when we get a customer, I want to see what the employee is going to do and where they're going to go first. And if the employee's like, if the customer is standing here, they'll like walk all the way around just to approach. And I know why, because they're thinking, how am I going to show? What do I say? I don't know, like they're scared, so they take the longer route. And then by that time, the customer might leave. Some customers are just like, and then they leave, right? So you got to hurry. So we have to teach them how to, and people think, why do I have to teach them how to walk up to the customer? Because it's a confidence thing. It's kind of like they're scared. So you actually have to teach them how to like walk to the customer. And I don't know how your kiosk is set up, but ours is a certain way. And you know, if a customer's on this side, instead of just going straight here, they'll like walk all the way around. So we have to tell them, what are you doing? Just go to the customer. So you actually have to teach them how to walk. So just, you know, be aware of that. And then of course, make sure someone's wearing like a fan or crazy hair to attract external sales. So those are some key points for directing the environment. And how you teach your employees how to direct your environment is you have to have an employee pretend they're the customer and practice walking up to them with the quickest route to get to them. Have them practice putting in the crazy hairstyles. Some new employees don't know how to wear the fan or the mohawk. So you guys have to make sure all your staff knows how to put that in. Show them how they all tend to stick to one side of and where they stand and gather. So sometimes they don't even think that they're doing it. And I know they like to gather and talk and like, you just have to tell them, you guys always stand. It's like they feel like they're in this little box that they always stand. Show them the difference of standing facing outward versus inwards of the cart. And show them how to multitask by putting away a clip and at the same time facing outwards to see the customer. So when you're cleaning, I know when we clean we always like put things back this way, but face outward, and you can always like put the ponytail holders back on the pillows facing outward. And then turn around and put it away. Or even if like you're putting away the sticks, you never want your whole back this way. You can always like do this, or you know, always be aware and try to put things back facing out. Or half, but never like fully turn your back because you may miss a large ticket customer or someone looking at you. So when I put things back, I like to like put things back this way and then turn around and put it back or whatever. Whatever's always going to get you to face outward most of the time. Okay? Directing external. This one is important. Do they have external accessories on the wrist? We all know we wear something on the wrist to help us do external. Look for shopping bags, name brands, purses, shoes, you know, all the people that you know have money that can afford it. You want to do external on those people. Families with children, of course, and especially dads with daughters. They're easy to do external on. Employees are doing external with passerby. So we have to make sure that they're doing external, right? If they could just stand there and like all these people are walking by and they're just standing up. So you have to make sure they're doing external with all of them. Look for teamwork external. One person is going out to get the customer and the other person is bringing you hair accessories. So we use that a lot because at Almana the cart is further away from the customer. We have to do teamwork external. And what that means is like, say Chelsea will go out and go up to the customer and then I'll bring her hair. Because I already know she has accessories on. So I'm not going to bring accessories if she has accessories. So I will look at the person's hair and see what she needs, whether it's Allie's or Shannon. And I have to run and then give it to her, and then so the customer gets to try it on right away. Or get them to the mirror. You know, or if you have hair, bring accessories. Try to bring something different than what the actual person has with them on their wrist. Okay? So that's teamwork external. If the person who is going out to get the customer has to show, that's what we talked about, has the accessories to show, then the other person must bring extensions to help. So we practice this a lot as well at our location, is what to bring. So how do you teach directing? Oh, sorry, we're still on directing external. So are they being creative with their approach? Examples like, are they commenting on their hair or their hair clips? It's easy to always just compliment and say, hi, how are you? I like your hair. But what we find is if it's something that's already in their hair, it's so easy to do external on because they already have something in their hair. So you have to be creative with your approach on maybe asking them a question like, where did you get that haircut? Oh my God, it looks kind of like mine. Let me see it. Can I see yours? Just something to stall while the person's bringing something. I mean, we kind of do that a lot to stall, and then they're like, you use me, or when they figure it out, but they're funny about it and they don't mind, but we kind of do that a lot to stall time. Are they being loud and showing energy and having fun? Make sure they're putting something in the customer's hair right away. So we like to train our staff to put something in within 5 seconds, because we notice like they'll conversate and compliment, but nothing's going in their hair, and then by the time you want to put something in, the customer's like, I have to go. You're like, but wait, before you go, let me show you. And then it kind of looks desperate. So you want to make sure that you put something right away. At least 5 seconds, like count. If you need them to count, whatever, just put something in faster. It makes them stay longer too. Make sure they're going out to get their customer and not waiting for the customer to come. Right? I think a lot of us rather just greet and compliment all day and not have to go out and like touch someone or get them over. Bo's really good at going out and grabbing someone and bringing them over. She taught us that at Royal, so we implemented that and it's helped us tremendously. So it works. You just have to be confident and not think too much. Just go out and have fun with your customer. Are they keeping the urgency, getting a customer every 15 minutes? So we actually have like a time frame that we make them get customers because their urgency might be like 1 every hour. Like to us, that's not urgent. So we actually have to set like a goal. Okay, I want you to grab 4 people in 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes, you have to have 4 people. And they actually like have a little tally book, and they actually have an external book, and they actually have a goal. Okay, today I want to grab 5 people before, and they have to tally. And then if we're noticing they're not doing it, that's when we direct. So this directing is where it's going to come in. Because you're going to tell them, this is what I want you to do. If you're not noticing it, then that's when you have to direct. There's 15 minutes, 2 minutes. And we actually have this thing where we do an external game where, they either take turns, like, okay, that person's not going to grab someone until you grab someone. So everyone's waiting on that person. And then, if they don't do it, then you kind of go up to them and like say, boom, you exploded, or something fun, And as long as everybody's doing it, then they don't feel so like pressured. Obviously you have to do it as a team. You can't like single out one person. But as long as everybody's doing it, then it becomes fun, right? If you get rejected and they see other people getting rejected, it's okay. But give them a specific time frame for external and how many people they should want to get to the park or come over. So that helps us. Direct your employee on who to do external on if they are having a harder time. So we'll say, okay, let's do external, let's do the game. And they're just like standing there, reading and conflict, but they're not going out. So that I have to tell them, okay, I want you to grab that person right there. She's coming. Now, go now. And then they're like, they actually go because they're being directed on who to grab. So if you notice they're not doing it and they're just standing there, you have to help them by telling them who to grab. Just say, I want you to grab her. And they're like, just give them that direction. Don't do it under pressure. Okay? So that works for us as well, that we have to really tell them who to grab. We first leave it up to them, but if we find that they're just like standing there, they're scared, then we have to help them by giving them someone to grab. Okay, so now we're how to teach directing external. So practice external scenarios with your staff. Practice the approaches and gliding techniques, like how you're going to walk up to the customer, We practice a lot of big movements. Like we don't want to I don't know what it's called, shuffle. I mean, sometimes it's cute. It depends on the customer, but to get there faster, we like to take big strides to get there quicker. So we practice how we walk to the customer. Practice like that last meeting where we did the gliding technique and all that thing. So teach them how to do that. Have them greet and compliment. Practice their speaking voice to be loud enough for the customer to hear them. So we like to make sure, like new people especially, they're quiet. So we always have to say, I want to hear you on the other side of the car. So if we can't hear them, we'll be like, I can't hear you. And then they're like, aloha. Can you do it louder? And they're like, aloha. We're like, good. Right? So you have to tell them, I want to hear you on the other side of the car. Like a lot of people think you don't have to change their voice, and that's just how they are. But they really have to project their voice loud, and that's a skill that you have to actually train them at. Because not everybody's going to be loud or bubbly. You have to tell them. They might think they're being loud, but then you have to give them an example of what loud is, which is I want to hear you on the other side of the car. So we have many new employees that are quiet. And so Chelsea has to work with them on just talking loud. Let's just start talking loud. It's like take it a little bit at a time. And then count to 5 before they put something in their hair is what we practice. Like I said, have them give them an exact number of how long they should wait before they put something in. Play the external game, who's